guys, this is my 2025 reading wrap-up. So sadly, I did not read any books from January to May because I got back into reading in June. The only books I read were school mandatory books, so the first book I read in June was Little Women by Louisa M. Alcott. It was good. It was sad. It was fantastic. Everything about it was great. It's pretty. Yeah. And then this exact book was the book that got me back into reading, Betting on You by Lynn Painter. It's by far one of my favorite books, and it was just so cute. It was fluffy. It was, everything about it was fantastic. I loved it so much. So in June, I read 2 books. And guys, please don't mind the background noise. I'm actually being attacked right now. And then the first book that I read in July was Shadow Me by Tahira Mafi. I don't know how to say her name, so I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And I also read Destroy Me. They were both fantastic. This was so sad, though. And in July, I read 2 books. And then in August, I read first book, Better Than the Movies. I honestly don't understand the hype about this book. It's okay, but it's not that good. Sorry, guys. And then I attempted to read The Summer I Turned Pretty. I DNF'd it. I didn't like it. It was too bad book, okay book. It was 2 relatively bad books in a row. It was so sad. And then I read My Love, Powerless. It was so good, but also I tried tabbing this book, but I gave up. But my annotations were really pretty though. And then I read Powerful by Lauren Roberts, and it was fantastic. Actually, I love Max so much. I love Adina. I actually cried my eyeballs out so hard. I was in the car driving back. I was in the car driving back from vacation, and I was bawling my eyes out. And then I read Unravel Me. It was probably the most mid book of the series. I feel like it was just very dragged along for like the first section of the book. But then, woo, it was so good at the end, like fantastic. And then I read Fracture Me. I physically don't remember what happened in Fracture Me, so let's just say, I don't know. And then I read Ignite Me, my baby. I love Aaron Warner so much. He's actually like my husband. This was fantastic. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Then, as you guys know, if you haven't noticed from my other videos, I get really bored of series really fast. And yeah, and then I started reading The Inheritance Games. It's overhyped. It's good, but it's overhyped. Really overhyped. And now we're in September, one of my favorite months. But first book I read, Hawthorne Legacy. This was definitely better than The Inheritance Games, second book of the series. It's definitely better, but the series is still overhyped. But this is as far as I've gotten in the series because it's truly not that good, but I really hope the series gets better as I go on. And then I read If He Had Dead With Me. I cried for like 2 weeks straight because of this book. It was so sad, but it was like I said, it truly wasn't my cup of tea, but I still enjoyed it. It was pretty fantastic. And then I started the Hunger Games trilogy. I read Hunger Games and Catching Fire. Rue is my baby. I love her so much. Actually, I was infuriated when she died. Sorry, spoiler alert. But they were so good. It was so good. And then I read A First Time for Everything by Kayla Walther. This was really good, really good. But I don't know why she kept trying to go after other men. Like, literally, Marco was so perfect for her. Oh, and they have pretty sprayed edges. And then I read Reckless. It was okay until, like, the last chapter. The last chapter, fantastic. Will you marry me?
I don't know what I was.
Actually, Kit, no, I won't. Thank you very much. Spoiler. My bad, chat. And then I read Caraval, and I made the super big mistake of cracking my spine. And then I was testing out highlighters, and I did this on the part where I cracked the spine. So I'm really sad about that, but it's okay. It was like 6, 7 out of 10. It was okay. It was okay. Not that good. Yeah. And then I read Mockingjay. It was worst book in the Hunger Games trilogy. It was, I mean, I still liked it, but definitely wasn't as good as the other two. It was fantastic, though. And then I read If Only I Had Told Her. I made the big mistake of reading this book on my way down to my school DC trip. And like the people who were in my group, they don't read it all, and I didn't understand what I was going through. I was bawling my eyes out on the bus, and one of the parents, he came up to me, he was like, "Girl, you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm reading a book, and it's so sad." And then people just kept laughing at me, but it was fantastic. I bawled my eyes out. Actually, I'm sad. And then I read Nothing Like the Movies. Don't mind, I started bedazzling it, but I didn't finish it. I only got 2 letters. No! Okay, no, so 2 letters. But it was, honestly, in my opinion, this was better than the movies. Also, it's so pretty too, and also, it finally came out in paperback. Yippee! Okay, yeah, I read, yeah. Then I started the Percy Jackson The Olympian series, and I read The Lightning Thief. This was so good, like fantastic. And then, this is Roman. And then I read The City of Monsters. Fantastic. Actually,
No, you are not.
Actually, I don't remember what's better, The Lightning Thief or Sea of Monsters, but I think this one, in my opinion, was better. And then I read Holt. This was fantastic. I read it in one night. I read it cover to cover one night. It was good. Then I read Twilight. I like it. And now November. First, I read The Titan's Curse from Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It was good. It was good. It was good. I can say it was good like 7 times and it would still mean the same thing. And then I read Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Battle of the Labyrinth. I think this one was my favorite one. Either this one or the last one. Also, this is a really cool cover. Super duper cool. And then I read The Last Olympian. I still can't remember if it was either this one or Battle of the Labyrinth. That was my favorite in the series. Oh, and I read all of Percy Jackson, like all of Percy Jackson Olympians and Twilight in 1 week. Like, it was all back to back to back. It was insane. And then I read Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. It was fantastic. I actually loved it so much because, honestly, I couldn't read Caraval. I just didn't really like it. So I just went ahead and read these. They were so good, actually. I'm in love with Jax, so. And then I went back to the Shatter Me series and I read Restore Me and Defy Me. Actually, they were fantastic. Yeah. I also read their novellas. I don't feel like pulling those out though. I haven't read Imagine Me yet because my friend, she has my copy, and we're kind of on winter break right now, and I can't get it back until school. So. Oh yes, these are the novellas, Shadow Me and Restore Me. And then I read This Song Is Not For You. It sucked. I hated it so much. Literally, every page there's a new chapter, and it was just, oh my gosh! It was just so, like, hard to read. It was really hard to read. Okay, I'm going to show you the best book I've ever read in my entire life. Literally, it's fantastic. Under the Same Stars by Leva Bray. And I did judge the book by its cover. Look at how pretty it is. Oh, and there's also pretty sprayed edges too. It was so good. Literally best book I've ever read in my entire life. I don't think anything can top this. It was so good. Oh, and mind you, I read half of Defy Me, all of This Song Is Not For You, and half of this in one day. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, December started at Restore Me. And then I read Divine Rivals. I don't really consider it fantasy. I feel like it's more just romance. It's very romance heavy. There wasn't a lot of fantasy in this one. But it was pretty fantastic. And then I read The Woman in Cabin 10. It was okay. I didn't really like it. And then I read Fearless. When I tell you, I bawled my eyes out. Like, seven different times during this book. It was so sad.
Oh,
and
Talking's crying.
yeah, they know. And also, I read this whole thing 1.5 days. 1.5 days. And then the last and final book I read of December was End of the Year, Ruthless Vows. I don't know what to say about it. It was fine. Get out of here, please. It was fine. I read 42 books this year. December was definitely my best reading month. I should probably count how many I read. 1 second. I read 10 books in December. That's a lot. Then, drumroll please. The best book I read of 2025 was Under the Same Stars by Libra Bray. Absolutely fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's see if we can double the amount of books I read in 2026. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching.